Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Colossus Christmas special. We have a particularly spectacular matchup on hand. Your penultimate matchup here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Planet Pro Wrestling Academy. The return of the 8-7s, Wolf of Wall Street, Mr. Multiversal, in many people's estimation and mine, the most well-rounded professional wrestler in the game today, Alexander Roth. An absolutely devastating combination of hard-hitting and high-flying athleticism. There is nobody better in this game right now than Alexander Roth. Alexander Roth is here. No bad blood needed when you're Alexander Roth, ladies and gentlemen. Supremely talented, and this should be a very interesting one-on-one matchup, as his opponent, of course, one of his former tag team partners, and Alexander Roth looking, no doubt, to dispatch this young man in due course. Alexander Roth has frankly made a name for himself, wanting to dispatch and dismantle a lot of the Planet Pro Wrestling Academy's finest here at Colossus. Alexander Roth certainly seems to be confident, and definitely will need to be, because this young man, somebody I know very well, somebody I've shared a ring with, ladies and gentlemen, has all the talent, all the ability in the world. The rock star Pulley Adams is here at Pro Wrestling Colossus, ladies and gentlemen. And the Lossy Posse showing their love indeed to Pulley Adams, understandably so. The redemption story of 2025 rolls on, and Pulley Adams certainly will have his biggest test today when he faces Mr. Multiversal inside the Colossus ring. A lot of love, of course, shown for Pulley Adams, yes indeed. And I remember the first time I met this young man, I was blown away by the level of charisma, the absolute passion of this man beggars belief. Indeed, Pulley Adams, a rock star, not just in name, but in vision and in practice as well. Very talented musician, but tonight he's going to be looking to play a very different instrument here as he looks to knock off the 8-7's heart and soul. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Roth, who, by the way, Alexander Roth taking his sweet time on the outside right now. Alexander Roth has retrieved a beanie. It must be pretty chilly in here. It is the season, of course, but Mr. Multiversal versus the Rockstar is on tap here. Your penultimate matchup of the Lossy Christmas special before we get things really kicking.
They said, like only their damn chance.
Alexander Roth, always having fun, always having a good time, particularly when he's playing the tune of kicking his opponent in the face, and expect those educated feet, no doubt, to come into play at some point in this matchup. Waistlock control, Pulley Adams escapes through the legs. Now looking to escape. Alexander Roth says no thank you, and uses the ropes for a break, and the Lossy don't look favourably upon rope breaks here. Alexander Roth certainly not going to allow Pulley Adams.
Speak up, sir, please.
I think he's right here.
And Pulley Adams giving us a ticket to the gun show.
I want to hear him play a guitar. I want to hear it.
Nickelback! I definitely can, don't worry.
I believe it.
Pulley Adams and Alexander Roth. Seems to be a mutual respect going on between these two, despite the fact that Lossy Posse are favourably behind Pulley Adams. Wrist lock control there by Mr. Multiversal. And as I've mentioned, of course, Alexander Roth, so deadly, so athletic, so unique in his offense. Lovely escape. And now looking for a modification on a martial cradle to present an arm drag in the middle of the ring. That is what makes Alexander Roth so spectacular. Alexander Roth having fun mocking the Rockstar. Alexander Roth looking very casual, very calm, and understandably so, has severe big match experience. Lovely roll through there by Pulley Adams, deep in ball as well, at the leg hook quite nicely.
That wasn't a pin.
I wasn't pin.
It was submission. Don't tap out.
Be quicker than that.
Alexander Roth saying he doesn't tap out.
One sec.
I believe Pulley Adams. Well, Alexander Roth believes that he's trying to get him into a submission. Alexander Roth once again taking his time. And I think was, dare I say, a little bit surprised at the sprawling offense of Pulley Adams. And that's what Pulley Adams does so well. He catches so many people by surprise with just how talented, just how good he is. And underestimate Pulley Adams at your mercy, ladies and gentlemen. Alexander Roth taking his sweet time here. And the Lossy Posse certainly losing their patience with Alexander Roth. And the Wolf of Brawl Street, well, Alexander Roth knows that he can wrestle Pulley Adams whenever he damn well pleases. But maybe it's all about the mind games. The experience starting to show here, of course. Alexander Roth with a huge experience advantage over Pulley Adams, and no doubt that will be what he will be looking to lean on the most in this matchup. Pulley Adams has some surprisingly good and some very impressive big match experience, especially here at Colossus, and gets a palm strike right to the face, courtesy of Alexander Roth. Ducks the clothesline, picks up a head of steam, lovely drop kick, wipes out the equilibrium, the standing base, and now a lovely pinning combination. That unusual offense of Pulley Adams looking to pay dividends here against Alexander Roth, who reverses the Irish whip, sends Adams into the corner. Adams gets his elbow up and then gets caught coming in maybe, but able to deliver a lovely drop kick of sorts and a Superman pin to Mr. Multiversal by Pulley Adams. And that's what I was talking about, that unusual, that unorthodox offense and a forearm shiver, and Pulley Adams certainly giving Alexander Roth all he can handle in the early exchanges of this matchup. Back elbow though, a little bit overzealous coming in. It's sent to the outside, just about lands on his feet. Does Pulley Adams. Alexander Roth, unaware of this, gets a shoulder to the midsection. Adams with a lovely sunset flip from the outside in, pinning combination at the object as well, and Alexander Roth just escaped before the count of three. And Pulley Adams, he's giving Alexander Roth fits here at Colossus, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking to flip Alexander Roth out of the corner. Roth with the power there, open palm strike and a beautiful standing enziguri from a standing position to a man stood on the second rope like that. That is impressive athleticism, and I'd expect nothing less from Alexander Roth. I mentioned the educated feet, and there you go, right there. Vicious kick right to the shoulder, and this is what Roth likes to do. He likes to dissect his opponents. Methodical in his nature is Mr. Multiversal, and now looking to wear out that lower back and indeed that arm as well, that is trapped in a hammerlock position. And Alexander Roth looking to wear away at the fingers, and oh, careful, what is, oh, no. You absolute knacker. And Pulley Adams being forced to taste the unmentionables of Alexander Roth. Oh, no. A little twerking action there from Mr. Multiversal. I don't think he really cares what the thinks. Pulley Adams now with a strike to the midsection, trying to headbutt and a forearm as well. And Pulley Adams throwing whatever he can at Alexander Roth in this exchange. Alexander Roth reverses the Irish whip, sends him into the corner, looking for an open palm strike. Pulley Adams trying to duck out of it, certainly does so, trying to lift Alexander Roth over the top rope, doing anything he can to try and escape, and gets a tilt world backbreaker for his troubles. Violent landing there by Pulley Adams. Real ugly contest. This is essentially dissolving into a brawl is what this is. Well, you got to favour Alexander Roth if we get into a street fight, ladies and gentlemen. And Pulley Adams just being worn out with those open palm strikes courtesy of Alexander Roth. Roth with a European uppercut in the corner, and Pulley Adams getting rocked, pun intended I guess, all over this Planet Pro Wrestling Academy. Looking to go up and over. Lovely head scissors takes Alexander Roth out of his boots almost, and now Pulley Adams looking to build some momentum here against Mr. Multiversal. Irish whip reversed once again ad nauseum, and a beautiful super kick caught him flush on the money. 2 count only. There's our referee, and of course Alexander Roth, fair enough, he's got some gumption on him. Alexander Roth always looks to be in control, always so calm, always cool as a cucumber is Alexander Roth, and now has a modification of the Dragon Sleeper applied to Pulley Adams, just wrenching on the neck. Vicious kick to the back and a violent senton. Quick, rapid, sudden offense and a 2 count only. Alexander Roth looks highly unimpressed.
This is my show.
Hey, I am the referee.
I am the referee. Shut your mouth.
Alexander Roth mocking our referee, and understandably. Alexander Roth looking a little bit frustrated, dare I say, with Pulley Adams, and now vicious, violent, fast open palm strikes finished off with that violent forearm, and now a knife edge drop and the palm strikes. The speed at which Alexander Roth, Bruce Lee-esque in his precision, and Pulley Adams just explodes off the ropes with forearms aplenty. Ducks the clothesline attempt, switch, waistlock control by Pulley Adams. Alexander Roth holds onto the ropes, rolls through, does Pulley Adams, ducks the clothesline attempt, and a swinging net breaker catches Alexander Roth. Flush, hook of the leg, 2 count only. Another Rockstar, still cooking, still looking for an opportunity here to knock off Alexander Roth, and a discus forearm to the spine. Really connected beautifully, and Alexander Roth just able to escape before the 3 count. Pulley Adams really is offloading everything he's got here, looking to redeem himself at the expense of Alexander Roth, and the Aussie Posse certainly want to see this matchup go in favor of Pulley Adams once again. Alexander Roth able to counter, and could have very well broken a couple of fingers there. Vicious crack. Super kick, just kidding. Ripcord knee delivered by Alexander Roth, the man of misdirection. And now a vicious brain buster has been applied. Pinning combination. Somehow Pulley Adams still able to escape with his shoulder off the canvas once again. You've got to give this young man so much credit. Pulley Adams just refusing to die here against Alexander Roth. Roth certainly looks like he has absolutely had enough, and I believe the end is near for Pulley Adams. If Alexander Roth has anything to say about it, Adams able to escape. Roth ducks the clothesline, and just a very simple finger poke right in the eye. Fisherman suplex. Oh, Fisherman's driver delivered by Alexander Roth. Pulley Adams landed on his head and somehow still kicked out. And Alexander Roth really has brought his A game, just as Pulley Adams has, to be fair. And I am impressed that Pulley Adams has lasted this long against the man, the nature of Alexander Roth. And you saw it in the eyes there. Roth is absolutely rage-laden and ready to finish this matchup. Fireman's carry on Pulley Adams. Pulley Adams desperately trying to fight off the shoulders. Alexander Roth does so, lands on his feet on the outside. Waiting for Alexander Roth to come in, and a forearm strike. Nothing fancy about that. Right across the chin, got every bit of it. Slingshot. Oh, Roth counters, catches him in mid-air. Look at the power on display. And a GTS, a modification of the GTS by Alexander Roth. But Pulley Adams, oh, beautiful evasion there. And a lariato delivered with aplomb by Mr. Multiversal to Pulley Adams. In again. Pulley Adams able to escape. Roth transitions directly into a modification of the Rings of Saturn, and now that vicious, almost like a crossfire. Oh, look at that wrench in the eyes, and needs to be very careful. Doesn't want to garner a disqualification here in a standard professional wrestling matchup, but that crossface is applied with that arm in tow as well. Beautiful modification of the crossface, and Pulley Adams somehow able to reach the ropes. You saw Matt Raven right there, the GOAT of professional wrestling photography, doing what he does best. But Alexander Roth certainly.
Are you not entertained? Yeah, you bloody are.
Alexander Roth knows full well that these fans are indeed entertained, but certainly they want Pulley Adams to pick up the victory, and many people would estimate that would be an upset, and a vicious modification of the stroke there, the skull-crushing finale of sorts by Pulley Adams, and now a Pirate's hook applied. Well, many people would liken the image of Pulley Adams to Brian Kendrick. It certainly looks like he's pulling from the playbook of the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion indeed. And vicious, oh come on, Alexander Roth has his thumb in the eye of Pulley Adams. Good God almighty, wrenching at the eyeballs, and Pulley Adams completely unsighted. Alexander Roth creates the break, and our referee, rightfully so, admonishing him for that behaviour. He's very lucky he didn't get a disqualification, and Alexander Roth created the separation he needed as Pulley Adams primed and ready, but Pulley Adams able to escape, obviously has got his vision back. Pulley Adams now up to the second rope. Roth is out on his feet. Looks a little bit groggy, ladies and gentlemen. Pulley Adams, huge code breaker off the second rope. Rocking and rolling is Pulley Adams. This is your opportunity, young man. You got to take it while you can. Look out. Look into the... Oh, beautiful, beautiful submission of Crevasse. So Alexander Roth has just been forced to tap out at the hands of Pulley Adams. And my God, is that a statement of intent by the rock star. He just submitted one of the best professional wrestlers in Europe today. My God, what a statement going into 2026. Pulley Adams just tapped out Alexander Roth. Yes, it beggars belief, but it is true. We have seen it with our very own eyes, and Pulley Adams has crowned a very impressive 2025 with arguably the biggest win of his career. Congratulations to Pulley Adams.